Hey everybody, hello, how are you? I wanted to jump on. I'm working on Pastelmat paper, and I have artists that have reached out to me and asked me questions about it because as a colored pencil artist when you're first starting out, and I'm actually kind of fairly new to Pastelmat as well, when you're first starting out, it can be extremely frustrating. So what I did lots of research on it. I've used it a few times, and actually it's now become like my favorite paper to use. And it does take a long time to build the layers, but I think you can get some really, really cool depth with it. So I wanted to show you, I'm working on this cute lab, and I wanted to show you kind of like what, as an artist, how you want to approach it. And it seemed really foreign to me when I first started doing it, but it makes sense now. And really what it is with Pastelmat is you got to push the paper. You have to push your layers. So you need to layer, layer, layer. Now, I watched Bonnie Snowden, and she's recently said that she's actually backed off of the layers on the Pastelmat. So I'm really interested in seeing how she's doing that and talking with her about that. Because if I could do less layers and get the same effect, yes, that would be awesome. So I'm going to drop you guys down. I hope that you'll be able to see this. So I gotta get my oh, we're upside down, aren't we? Yeah, let's go this way. I need to get my there we go, my camera back hooked up. So you know that I've lost my computer kind of died on me. So there we go. Yeah, I hope you can see that. So I haven't gotten the new download on my new hard drive yet. So I hope you can see this. I hope it works out okay. So basically, I've been working on this paw, and if you can see, I don't know how, like on the let me see if I can kind of pull you off of here for a minute. Hang on. One moment. One moment. Okay. So if you can see, let me get up close. See the little, oh, that's his nose. There we go. See the dots? See all those little speckles? So that's the texture of the tooth of the paper. And I want to get rid of that, right? So how do we do that? And that's the frustrating part as artists who are just starting out, because it feels like it's never going to go away. But that's actually the beauty of it, because we can just layer, layer, layer. Also with Pastelmat, you can also put white over colored pencil, which you can't really do with other papers. So I'm going to work right here. I was just starting to layer. So I've got this area. Let me see where my photo reference is. So we're working right here. And I've got, I don't know if you can see that. I've got this area here. I'm working in this area here and right here. And what I want to do, I know that parts of this are dark and parts are light, but first I've already got some dark down. So what I was doing is I'm taking like a storm gray and I'm going over this and putting in some lighter color. Now that seems strange, right? I'm going into this dark area here. This is actually all black. And I'm putting a light color in, but it's to help fill some of the tooth of the paper. So I'm gonna just put some in here. I don't have to be real fancy with it. And I'm gonna come over here. So you're kind of like, sculpting it as you layer. It's almost like painting in your, well, I shouldn't say that because I'm not a painter. I don't know how to paint in oils, but I believe that they like block in sections and slowly build up to the finer details. And that's what this reminds me of, right? So I'm kind of going over all these darker spots and filling in some of this tooth. And then what I can do is I can go into a darker color now. I'm going to use, let's try chocolate. I'll use some chocolate. But I can go back into this darker area and I can still build color Look at that. I can darken it right up. And I'll show you in a minute that as I do this back and forth, light and dark, it starts to fill the tooth in. And you get a really nice, smooth look to it. And it's really pretty. And I'll show you something really cool. Let me get this in. I'm going to show you, and you're going to go, what? If you've used colored pencil, you're going to be surprised. So I've got this real dark color, this dark brown. I can go ahead and put some in here because it kind of comes up the paw here. The fur. And just kind of play around in here. So I'm building up the darks and the lights. So there's far less. Oh, my dog's pawing at me. She wants to climb up in my lap, but she can't right now. Stay down, Chloe. So we can get some color in here. Right, pull it up here. And then, what is super cool, now I'm going to go in real dark with black in this dark spot here. So I'm going to go over it again. Right in here. Because this is right next to his face. So it's got a nice dark shadow in there. And then it comes up and around. So I can go in here and I'm just kind of, I don't need a sharp point at this point because I'm not ready to really get into the details. I'm just kind of still blocking in these colors, but I had a dark color in there, then I went to a light color, and now I'm bringing it back to a dark color so that I can fill in some of that tooth. And you guys might be like, why? Why are you bothering? And like I said, it's because I can really create some depth, and I can go over this dark area now. Let me just show you the, I don't know, I'll show you in a minute, but I'll show you the dots that I'm talking about. And sometimes I like to have that. It works for texture. But sometimes I want a nice fluffy puppy or cat, and I don't want all those dots coming through. So I want to fill it all in. So let's see here. Let me get this. Okay. So what's cool though, this real dark area, and this is why we go to all the trouble to use Pastelmat, is now if this were on regular paper, it'd be really hard to get a lighter color on top. But with Pastelmat, I can go ahead, look at that, and I can put a nice white. This is actually buff titanium. It's not quite white, but I could go in and put a white in here right on top of my dark. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is priceless. So that's why I love the Pastelmat. That and for other reasons, but isn't that cool? So I can go in and put these tiny little pieces of fur. But I wouldn't do that right now. I just wanted to show you guys that. I actually would do that at the end. So up here though, like I can go in, this is black. So I'm going to go ahead and put some dark, I got a dark spot here. I'm going to go ahead and fill that in. Some here. And then it comes over here. This is going to be all dark, coming down this way and this way. But I'll show you what I mean about the tooth of the paper being difficult and why we want to do that back and forth with the light and the dark, because as soon as I go to put my blacks back over this, you're going to see that it is, again, it's got spots. So, and I think that's what's so frustrating for new artists or new colored pencil artists. They're like, are you kidding? I just did all that and now it's there again? You got to be kidding me. So you can get a ton of layers on this paper, and you'll actually feel it. You'll start to feel where it gets smoother as you work. And that's when I kind of start to know that I'm going to get a nice smooth layer on top. There's a difference in the way the pencil glides over the paper. So now that I had all this white, or like a light gray, now I'm just putting my black on top to help fill some of that tooth in. So when I say I have to go from light to dark, that's what I mean. So it's a back and forth. So let me get you guys in closer and see if you can see that. So, can you see? Let me see if I can get you in the right spot here. Yeah. Is that it? Yeah. Can you see like the little spots? And where I did that real dark black, it's starting to smooth out. And that is the difference. So, yay! Hi, Tony. I'm doing well. So that's hi, everybody. That is why I will use Pastelmat. And I really recommend that if you are a colored pencil artist. I know I tried it about a year ago and I ended up putting it away. I didn't like it. But I did get it back out, and I got it back out because so many artists talk about it. So I encourage you that if you have put it away or if you tried it before and you didn't like it, try it again. Try it every once in a while. I play with a ton of different papers. I love hot press watercolor paper, one of my favorites, and that can actually take quite a few layers too, but it has a point where it won't take any more. It gets too slippery. So I'm doing my print subscription on watercolor paper because I am adding watercolor to it. But I believe that you can also do watercolor on Pastelmat. I have not played with that yet, but I'm going to. But I really encourage you to try different papers and try the Clairefontaine Pastelmat again. You're going to really like it once you start to get the hang of it. But it is time consuming, so it is something you're going to have patience with. You're not going to get like 3 or 4 layers on it and say, oh, okay, I'm done. You're going to have to put like 7, 10, 15, however many layers it takes to get that smooth, fluffy feel. Unless, like I said, you want that texture, go for it. So that's all I got, guys. If you have any questions, please feel free to drop them in the comments, and I will answer them as best as I can. Thanks. Bye-bye.